Hey, what's up, everybody? Ron Harris here on the channel, Ron Harris Muscle. Thanks for joining me. So, Toronto Pro was last night. Akim Williams picked up the victory. Second place was Quint Beastwood, Quinton Eriya, who I didn't have in my thumbnail. So, a lot of people are angry at me because I didn't have him in my top three people on the thumbnail. I had Akim, I had John Jewett, and I had Hassan Mustafa. They all ended up in the top six. As we know now, Quint almost won. And I say almost because he was one place away from winning. I personally had no problem with Akim winning. I thought he looked fantastic. Before we get started, guys, subscribe, like, share, ring that bell, please. Please, be awesome if you did that. So let's take a look at some of the clips here. Here is the awards. So I cut already to Quint getting his second place. Good sport, not looking upset or angry with some people. The team getting called out for the win. Everybody being nice and gracious. This is a live stream that I took from Nick Strength Power. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate letting me steal your food. So, traffic going by outside. So there's Akim. And we're going to look at the posing. We're going to look at the comparisons so you can sort of make up your mind. So why I thought, because, I use the title. It's kind of a clickbaity title to get you to watch the video because I don't think he was robbed, Quinton. Let's see. So let's look at the poses, pose by pose. Quinton looks super wide there. Akim sort of sits down on his abs. I think he'd be better off standing up a little higher. What you notice with Quinton is he's got that crazy differential between the shoulders and the waist, such an insane V taper. But here's where you see Akim just sort of dominate these side poses, especially. He's so thick and dominating from the side. That side leg of his, that chest is just like a big, thick shelf. I got to say, Quinton's got some amazing calves, truly amazing calves. Neither guy here, neither Akim or Quinton has an awesome back. I'll say that right now. Quinton's does insert much lower. So he's got more development overall than Akim. Akim's got some high lat insertions. Nothing he can do about that. So I don't really see anybody beating anyone clearly on the back shots. Side shots, again, Akim has got these crazy arms, crazy side leg with the grainy splits in between the quads and the hams, the glutes, all those muscles. But Quinton was holding his own. He wasn't getting blown away by Akim. There you see that really classic shape of his that Quinton has. He does need some more thickness to the abs. Abs could be thicker. But goodness, look at that. I really think Quinton is on his way. I think he fills out a little bit more. Yeah, the back shot there. Quinton needs some more back thickness. It doesn't look too bad in the rear lat spread, but the double bicep. See, there's Nick Strength and Power. There he is again. Let's go some more comparisons. This is the entire top six. I'm going to go to the score sheet, show you guys a score sheet because my math is always being called into question, probably for good reasons. Results. I'll show this to you in a second. Toronto Super Show. Okay, so once this is over, I'm going to go to that. So this is it's a little hard to see because it's further away, but very solid top six here. Hassan kind of disappointed us with his conditioning, but everyone in the top five, aside from Hassan, was really dialed in. Very, very good condition. Glutes in, backs were nice and crisp. Nobody was out of shape. And, Hassan, we know he's capable of being a lot better than this. And I don't know why he wasn't in better condition. I don't even want to speculate. People are saying he didn't intentionally peak for this show, like it was a warm-up show. I don't think someone at his level would do a show as a warm-up. As a professional athlete, every show you go in theoretically at your best and hopefully to win. There's Nick Strength and Power again. All right, so let's hide that. Let's look at the scores, guys. Let's take a look at the scores. So this was open men's score sheets. All right, so Akim got a score of 3 in the judging, 3 in the finals for a total of 6. Quinton got 6-6 judging in finals for a total of 12. So, gosh, I hope I get this right because I've screwed this up so many times. If they drop the high and the low scores, if Akim got all first places and there were 5 judges, it would be 5, and they take away first, high and low, which just would have been the same, which would leave him with 3, which would mean it was a perfect score, which would mean every judge had him in first. And I tend to believe that was the case because let's take a look. Everybody was moved around him. Stop sharing. Let's look at the top 4. So, yeah, here, well, there's only 4 guys, so technically they're both in the middle, right? You can't say Akim's in the middle. But I didn't see too many people moved around. I mean, I didn't see Akim moved around very much. And I guess Akim posted that one of the judges told him, "Thanks for making it easy for us," which meant in the eyes of the judges, it was clear. You can see Quinton just needs to fill out more. He just needs a little more size. He's not all the way. He's still a work in progress, is what I'm trying to say. He has not reached his full potential. I think a little more size. I think we're going to see Quinton start winning shows and beating a lot of these guys that have been beating him thus far. I hope he shuts it down now, takes a nice solid off season, works on a little bit more back thickness, a little more overall size, comes back next spring, and I predict he starts winning shows next year. Within a year, we're going to see him qualify for the Olympia. Unless he decides to keep going and do like Vancouver in 5 weeks. I don't know what he's gonna choose to do. Hard to say. What do you guys say? Bernardo says, "I believe he could have won. Nobody would argue. My rational sim was direct. Superior shape with solid condition." Yeah, well, the condition was solid. I think Akim was in better condition, slightly. But yeah, his condition was pretty damn good. It was a little bit better. That's Xavier Willis, Great Channel Desktop Bodybuilding. We just wrapped up our own little wrap up for his channel. We talked about Toronto Pro. We went into some different divisions. So if you're not subscribed to Xavier, you want to check that out very soon. You have to write Quinton an apology, LOL. Well, he reposted. I did a little post in the Instagram stories about this, and he reposted it. So, you know, there were arguments. There were people that were there that were posting. They had Quinton as the winner. I wasn't there. I'm just going off photos and videos and what I know from so many shows of what the judges are going to do based on what the attributes they like to see. And they like to see thicker, fuller guys because Akim has a very nice structure. He doesn't have a big gut. He's got a small, narrow waist. He's not really missing anything except his back could be better. And you could say that about Quinton. So it's kind of the one area that they were both lagging in compared to the rest of the physiques. So it's not like either one blows the other one away in that area. Mike says, Big Mike Cox, just think he needs more time. Akim has old man muscle. Yeah, Akim is, I want to say he's 37, maybe 38 by now. Which is not old by any means, but he's been doing this a long time. I think Akim turned pro like around 2011 or something. He's been a pro for a long time. He's done a lot of shows. He's been at this game a long time, and he's close. I'm saying he's probably in the last couple of years of his career. Not that his body's falling apart or anything like that, but he's probably in the final stages of his pro career. Whereas Quinton, even though Quinton's been competing since 2018, I think it was his pro debut. I was there in Toronto. He's still got quite a few years left ahead of him, assuming he doesn't get sick or severely injured or anything like that. He's still got a long way to go to fill out that physique and really come into his own as a pro. You know, I compare him to Samson, not just because they're both tall and Nigerian in origin, but Samson, when he first hit the pro scene, wasn't that great. He was like a B-level guy because he was tall and he had long limbs and he needed more size. He was working with John Meadows. John did a great job with him. Then, unfortunately, John passed away. It was 2021, summer of 21. And he started working with Milos. Milos put a lot of size on him. Milos put on like 25 pounds of tissue on that guy, filled out his frame. And he went from this second call-out guy or a guy who was getting like 4th, 5th, 6th in a lot of shows, not Olympia level or on level shows, just regular shows, to now he starts winning shows. And then he wins. He's won an Arnold Classic now. He's been 3rd place in Olympia. So I see that potential. I see that potential with Quinton. Aussie, yeah, I wore this shirt just for Xavier today. Picked that up in Australia when I was there last year. Mike Cox, big Mike Cox. Quint structure is just silly. Yeah, I mean, it's like Andrew Jack. There's a lot of real estate to fill out, and he's a young guy. You know, when he turned pro, I think it was 2018, 2019, or whatever it was. He turned pro as a natural bodybuilder. And when he made his pro debut, he was just starting to use PEDs. So it's not like he's been on gear for 20 years. He hasn't. He's a young guy. He's still got a lot of growing to do, and I don't think we've seen anything near his full potential yet. See more people say John was robbed. John. So if you're talking about John Jewett, I mean, if he was robbed, where should he have been? John Jewett. Let's go back and look at some of the call outs, because I like John a lot. He's a good dude, and he let's see, awards. The top four. No, let's go to one with just. Yeah, let's go back to your comments. Back to the comments. It's got a good future, Quint. Just timing lots of carbs. Yeah, like I said, I hope Quinton is taking an off season after this, taking some time and improving, just putting on a little bit more quality size. Yeah, Mike pointed out neither guy has a good back. I mean, when they both turned around, they say shows are one from the back. So if somebody's got a much better back than someone else, and they're kind of equal from the front and the back can be the deciding factor. But in this case, it wasn't. Neither one of them are that great. Bodybuilding fans are impatient. Yeah, we want to see these guys put all the muscle on and make all the improvements that we want to see, like yesterday. And these are human bodies we're talking about, even with plenty of PEDs and food and rest. If you build muscle much too fast, as we know, if you're using things like a lot of GH and a lot of insulin, that gut, the midsection gets blown out. They get a bubble gut. And for Quinton, if he ever got a bubble gut, that would be the end of him. That would be the end, because that's one of his major strong points on that physique is that tiny, tiny waist, narrow waist, nice and flat, no bubble gut. So he's got to do it slowly, surely, quality muscle, a little bit at a time, the way he's been doing it. Expect more improvements. Yeah, I mean, he is bigger. We didn't see the improvements as much in New York because I think he was a little over-dieted looking and very flat. Here, I think we saw the improvements. But yeah, Raymond, it's like Mike said, we're expecting these guys to just blow up. Like if they take a year off, we expect them to come back with like 20 pounds more muscle, because a few times that's happened. Guys have done it a few times. Most of the time, if a guy who's already at advanced level could put on like 5 pounds of quality muscle in a year's time, that's pretty damn good. For somebody that's been training a long time and has already built a world-class physique. Akim is dense. Agree. The hair looks good. Yeah, thank you. It's really coming in. I'm very happy about that. Let's go back to some more video while we're talking and yapping. Why not? So back to your comments. Just like to have something in the background other than my mug. Quinn look wider in the upper body. I guess that's just a muscle maturity issue. It could be that. And I think it looked to me like they really, Dorian really filled him out a lot. And he did come in much fuller. It's a better look overall. The conditions suffered a little bit. Even my son was in New York at the New York Pro, and he said, yeah, my son's been going to shows, watching shows for a while. He said, yeah, he was better in New York condition wise, but he's way bigger. So Quinn should work with Milos. Like he was just more muscular. Yeah. There's an interview on this channel. If you haven't watched it, please go check it out. And I suggested, Milos is not going to chase him down. And I bet you good money that Quinton's very happy with Dorian. They've got a history together, working together. So I think Milos would be a great guy for Quinton to work with for like a year and put on 10, 15 pounds of quality, because he doesn't need a whole lot more muscle. It's not like he's tiny. He just needs like another maybe 10 pounds, 15 at the most. We see a man modder today. No, Jen's not here to go. Jen's helped me a lot with the channel, so no, she's not going to go. Makes you wonder, Mike says, what do Hunter, Andrew, some other guys skip these early shows to make backlog at the end of the year? Yeah, we were having our talk, Mike, as you saw on the group, our little WhatsApp group chat from the old MD crew. And we were saying there's probably some guys that aren't going to make it to the Olympia this year because a lot of them are waiting too long to qualify, and they're all going to run into each other at the shows, and somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose. And some of these guys might not even be able to get to the U.S. I mean, what if Nathan win? He won, what, 2 shows or 3 shows last year? Nathan can't come to the U.S. We know this. Beirut can't get into the U.S. He might win a show or more. So we're going to have guys winning shows and qualifying for the Olympia that can't even get to the Olympia. And then we're going to have other glutes hard or soft. Oh, dude, you're done. Send Quint to the camel crew and give him the anabolic chicken. Yeah, I mean, Kuwait has done a great job with putting size on people, right? We've seen people go over there. I mean, the prime example was Brandon Curry. Brandon went over there at the end of 2017 after the Olympia, put on like 25 pounds of muscle, and he comes back. And would he win the New Zealand Pro? He beat Dallas. Did he win the Arnold Australia too? I think he did. You're muted. No, not anymore, Mike. I shouldn't be. Am I still muted? Unmute. Check, check, check. I shouldn't be muted. Yeah. John and Akim should have flipped. Oh, so you think you would have still had Quinton second, but you would have had John winning and Akim? No, and I have nothing against John, and I'm not like Akim's best buddy or anything like that. I don't know either guy personally, but I would have Akim win. Yeah, Mike, I hope it's you, because my mic looks like it's fine. Our stall, I thought the structure and ties on Quint were great. The glutes look like Coleman, but the judges stopped awarding if no improvements. Quint needs size. I mean, that's like a conspiracy theory. Like the judges, it's not that they want to see him. They do want to see improvements, but they're judging everybody just based on who else is standing next to them that day. So if Quint shows up at another show and he's just the best physique there, whether or not he's made any improvements or not, it's irrelevant if he's the best physique on stage that day. But does he need to make improvements to beat someone like Akim, who's just got more thickness and density to the physique than Quinton does at this time? So he does need to make those improvements to move up from where he is now to be beating the guys that are beating him now. Good suggestion, like Quint Camel Crew. I mean, why not? I don't think he's married, doesn't have any kids. He could screw off to Kuwait for 6 months, put on some good muscle at their expense. It's all expenses paid. It's free room, free board. Your food's covered. Your special supplements are covered. You have trainers pushing you in the gym. They work out like twice a day because there's nothing else to do. They have apartments across the street that they have these guys set up at. So it's just walk to the gym, train, go back, eat, take a nap, eat, watch TV, go back to the gym and train. You know, it's eat, sleep, train, repeat. Eat, sleep, train, repeat. That pec bounce, please. Oh, dude, no. You're not muted. Thank you, Raymond. John has an arm place second, but not first. Yeah, like I said, let's look at it. Let's look at it again, because I want to give the guy his due. He looked great. There we go. What's wrong for you judging? All right, so where's John? John's right there. John's sick from the right. I think that's Robin next to him, Robin Strand. Is that Buddha sign? I can't even tell who the hell I'm looking at from the back. All these white guys look the same. Oh, there we go. So John on the left. Yeah, you can see, just look, I mean, across the shoulders, that lat spread really shows you the width. And I mean, it's only one pose, but you see in the front double bicep too. Those two front poses, shoulder width really comes into play a lot. But the guy did a great job, John. He really brought the great condition, and he's up a full 20 pounds from a couple of years ago when he was at 212. This is only his second open show. He almost won Legion. He got beat by Charles Griffin. And here, you know, could have gone a different way. If Akim had been off, if Quint had been a little off, John would have been the winner. It's very close. It's very, very tight top three there, I thought. And, you know, Robin Strand brought some awesome condition. You know, Robin's a guy that I think he needs to always be 100% dialed in to get a fair look, because he's a big kid. Don't get me wrong. I say kid because he's a very young guy compared to most of these people. But he knows his strong points. He knows he doesn't have the prettiest shape structure compared to these guys. So he's built a shit ton of muscle and he gets shredded to the bone. But John, I love that hand on hip most muscular for him. To me, he hits that pose better than anybody in this lineup right here. Yeah, and you know, John's a pro. I don't just mean professional. He's a pro, but he knows what he's doing. But there, beautiful shot for these guys. Beautiful shot. Okay. Do they provide sexual favors in Kuwait? I don't think so. What happened to Hassan is a very good question. So here's my theory. My theory is I believe he lives in Toronto now. His wife is from Toronto, Canada. So he could have done the show as a warm-up with Vancouver 5 weeks away as his main target. And this was just to sort of get back in the game. But as a pro bodybuilder, this is what you do for a living. Why would you show up at a show not even intending to win? And I seriously doubt he would have intentionally brought that condition thinking that was going to be good enough to win, regardless of who else showed up. Because maybe at a very weak show, that Hassan would have won. But this wasn't that weak of a show at all. So Kevin Henry, I thought Akim was a clear winner. Quinton might get there. Just needs time to put on density. It shows on stage. I feel like coaches knows the work. Yeah, unfortunately, you can only have one coach. You can't have a bunch of coaches. John looked great as well. Yeah, I mean, I said that in the Milos interview that's up now on this channel that I posted yesterday. I think I'd love to see Milos work with him. Will it ever happen? I don't know. He seems like he's very happy with Dorian Hamilton. You know, they have, like I said, they have history. They've worked together for shows in the past. I think he trains at Dorian's gym, Pure Muscle and Fitness in Burlington, Ontario. It's like the bodybuilding hotspot gym in the Toronto area. It makes sense. It's great to have a coach that you can see on a almost daily basis in person to evaluate you, because I know we have all this technology. We have FaceTime and Zoom and all this stuff, digital phone calls. You can see people, and it's just not the same. In person is just I think it's another level of assessment that you can make that you can't really make remotely. So I think he's in a good situation working with Dorian Hamilton right there near home, somebody he knows and trusts. And, you know, big part of a coach-client relationship is just the rapport, how well they can communicate with each other, how comfortable they feel with each other. They don't have to feel like they're best buddies, but I think there has to be a really deep level of trust, and you have to be comfortable with that person because they're making very important calls. Your career, your health, even these are things that they have an impact on. So he feels very confident with Dorian Hamilton, and you know they did a great job for this show. Considering I think he only had like a week. I think he only worked with him very briefly. He came back to Dorian, after he'd already done New York Pro and parted ways with Matt Jansen. So we'll see. So I'm gonna end this, guys. Leave it at that. I think Akim was the rightful winner in this. The title was, I know, a little misleading. I don't think Quint was robbed at all. I think Akim was a very deserving winner. I think we haven't seen the best of Quinton. I think he's a work in progress. He's got a very, very bright future. We have not seen his full potential at all. The best is yet to come from Quinton Eriya, aka Quint Beastwood. So let's all watch this kid. And he is a kid. He's a young guy. He's got his whole career ahead of him. So please, guys, subscribe, like, share, ring that bell on this channel. Your notification bell really helps me out. Of course, follow me on Instagram at the same thing, Ron Harris Muscle. That helps me out too. Appreciate it, guys. I want to keep bringing you guys the best content I can. Thank you all so much for watching. Appreciate it. And I'll see you right here next time. Peace.